Okay, welcome back. Right, now, there's our account all set up. I followed myself back, so I followed 3 people and I have 3 followers now. It's early days yet. I'm going to kick off now the management of the account and get that up and running. So, I haven't even tweeted anything yet. We'll get onto content in a bit. A simple tweet to start off, it will be to go to your homepage and you'll see the timeline of every tweet that your followers have been, or the people you're following have been tweeting. So here's a good one of mine. Check out Bitly's powerful traffic statistics. I think that goes to my sites. So I'll retweet. What retweet will do is does 2 things. It takes the sentence that was tweeted, the 140 characters, and it adds on to the 140 characters what's known as a mention. A mention would look like this: at James A. Cannon. That's a mention, and anything after this is the message. When we tweet a mention with the message, it appears as any normal tweet would in front of all of our followers. Also, it will appear in the section over here of James A. Cannon's account. So no one has mentioned me yet, so there's nothing in the section, so there's no point clicking there. But if someone had mentioned Easy Money Online, I could go there and I could see it. The mentions are quite important. I would stress, very important. You should always keep an eye on your mentions. Obviously, if I say something to James A. Cannon, it could be a question, it could be a comment, it could be some sort of gratification, it could be recommendation, it could be absolutely anything. And the whole idea of Twitter is to have conversations and engage, and the mentions is the primary way of engaging, of course. The direct messages are the other way, but in the public eye, this is how it's done. So that's the first thing it does. It throws up a mention, and the second thing it does is it throws up the content as well. So I'll go and retweet Tweets Empire. So what I should get is an at Tweets Empire and the rest of the message. So I retweet that now. Retweet your followers, yes. Updating, it's done. So this is how it looked like. Tweets Empire, so I retweeted that. So let's go to my profile and we'll see what my first tweet looked like. There it is. So this represents the at, it's a logo that they use now. You'll notice the at on any of your APIs. Actually, maybe you won't. They tend to take the at away and put it in a section for you to see, but we'll go through APIs later on. And Tweets Empire was the user account that I happen to see, and there's the text. Now, retweet by you. Here's something I just want to say, just in case you think otherwise. I have 3 followers. I went onto my homepage and I looked at the list of tweets that was available from my 3 followers, and I retweeted one of them. Don't think now that that's all I can retweet as people that I am following. I can go onto Twitter and find absolutely anyone, whether I'm following them or not, and I can retweet their message, or I can mention them and have a conversation with them. Whether they're Aston Kutcher or a local neighbour that you happen to find on Twitter and thought are quite strange, you can mention absolutely anyone you want on Twitter. So it's completely open. Okay, anyway, this is not why we're here. What I'm here to show you now is how to manage the account and how to get started. So I've got our username here, Easy Money Online. Oh, bitch, okay. Alright, so Easy Money Online. I'm just going to copy this so I don't have to remember how it's spelt. And we're going to go to the management tool. Good friend of mine, Peter Bay, runs this. He's working on some new tools as well for Twitter, but I found this one, out of all the tools I've seen, I found this one to be suited me. It done exactly what I wanted to do, and he kept adding more. I was at the very start when he first put this out using it, and he kept adding more and more and more tools, so it's very, very comprehensive and very safe. So there's your login button if you don't forget it, because it's a very simple page, but we're going to sign up for a new account here because this is we're all going in as the first time. So my name, my email address, and submit. Okay, so we're taking the email or username. So in this case, let's take the username as the username on Twitter. Easy Money Online. The password, and confirm the password. Create an account. Now this is free to join, and your trial account gives you limited use, but it's not timed. So this is an account from day one. We haven't added a Twitter account to it yet, and this is a bulletin board of what is new as regards updates, changing your password, and this is your account. It's a basic account at the moment. Twitter username. I'm going to add the Twitter account now, and the password. Follow us on Twitter and tweet the following to your account. So follow us on Twitter is they'll automatically use your details here to follow them on Twitter, which is no harm doing at all. You're using their service. And tweet the following. It's always nice to, you know, promote something that you're using. They're offering a great service to us, so considering we've only 3 followers at the moment, there's no harm of tweeting a second tweet on your account. So let's add the Twitter account. Now, just take you back to our Twitter page for a second. So we've added our Twitter account. Let's go to our profile and see if that tweet went out. There it is. Checking out tweetspinner.com, features and profile. Blah, blah, blah. So here we are. It came in with our avatar as well, so great. Any notices on your account will come up here. So if your account has hit a Twitter follow limit, which is 2,000, to start off, it'll come up here and let you know, and you won't have to go into Twitter all the time to double check figures and numbers. All your statistics will be here. Okay, so this is a free account, so a lot of the services, as I said, are cut off, and you can't use them, but we'll go through them one by one anyway, and on the next video we'll upgrade to a full account, and I'll show you how to use that. Okay, so DM inbox, archiving and anti-spam. Every time you follow someone, you give them an opportunity using these type of programs and the API to follow you back for one, and to send you a direct message. There are spammers out there who can send direct messages all the time. Now, don't think of it as a negative thing. Direct messages is quite important. The idea of a direct message is that you can privately speak to someone on Twitter. If you want to recommend something, if you want to give your phone number out to someone, or things of that nature, you'd use direct messaging. But as I said, as we're following and building up accounts to get large followers, we need to engage in the direct message, and people might ask us questions, might ask us for help. You know, there could be some in there, so you know we do need to look through a few of them. But the tool here that's in front of us at the moment is, it's kind of as like an anti-spam program. It'll run through common sets of rules that are in a direct message, things like links to websites or foul language, and if any of that appears in direct message, you can use this service here, which is hosted online, to trawl through your direct messages, because you could have quite a lot of them if you haven't checked them too long, and you gain like 100 followers or 200 followers in a week, and you could easily have 100 direct messages to go through. So this will trawl through and de-spam, move up to 200 spam direct messages from your inbox based on the rules that are set out here. So we can go into the actual rules more in depth, I'd say, in the paid account. I've never gone in the free account. So I just want to explain what DM inbox archiving is. There's no way we can use it at the moment. We have no direct messages. We haven't started the following process yet, but that is the first one, so I went through it. With anything here, there's a schedule option, and usually it'll be unavailable unless you subscribe to the service. But for the moment, we won't be needing any scheduling options. Follower Manager is really the only thing that we're here to talk about at the moment. There's no point talking about the rest. I'll just go over them briefly. DM, I've just explained. Follower Manager, we'll go through in depth today. Profile Rotator, you remember I explained to you that Google indexes your bio. Your Profile Rotator allows you to rotate your bio. So you can select every couple of days to rotate your bio, or every couple of hours to rotate your bio, or a couple of weeks. And the benefit I'd see from rotating your bio is if you change it ever so slightly at all, it is fresh content that Google picks up. So at the moment, as far as I'm aware, until things change, Google indexes your profile. It's the one consistent thing that is worth its while indexing. So if you type in your name, what will come up is your Twitter account and your bio. Now let's just check now. It's early days yet, but let's go to Google and search for our username and see what comes up. Well, someone has a website already. So there's nothing just there yet, but what could come up in the next 24 hours when Google's checked is twitter.com, easy money online, and the bio underneath. So let's look up an account that we do have. James is Go. James is Go. Twitter.com, James is Go. There's the bio. So that bio I have rotating, and it changes every couple of days. So it's fresh content for Google. Google posts it out there, you know. It's just keeps it current. Other things Profile Rotator can do is it can rotate the colours of your profile. We didn't go into it in depth. It's not that important. You can see this is beige and this is white. What else have we got? This is grey here. You can change elemental colours of your Twitter account. So I'll go to settings here and just briefly show you where that is in design, and then change design colors. So we can change colors for background, text, links, sidebar, and sidebar border. And in this program we can set up sets of these colors and rotate them every couple of hours, every couple of days. And you can synchronize it that if it rotates with your bio, if you wish. Anyway, it's another tool in the arsenal, and you can use smart tweets. Very important. I'll discuss this when we go on to content. And DM outbox rules-based messages. This is the opportunity I was explained to you, where you have an opportunity to engage with a follower when they follow you, and we can use this program to do that also. So for the moment, we're going to look at the Follow Manager. So there's a few tips on what each area means. So it's important to go in and do the setup video by video. So we set up the free account. You can read all the notes and get to know things using the video and using the help that's here. And then we'll move on to the paid account then when we know what the basics are, so we don't get lost and we're using everything as efficiently as possible. Okay, so here's a few statistics, and of course, like when it's a paid account, this image won't be here. you'll be able to see up here and here at the same time, but for the moment you have to scroll. Okay, people you follow. So we follow 3 people at the moment. Of those 3 people who we follow, 2 of them haven't followed us back. So that was cheeky. I just picked 3 of my accounts and I followed myself. I didn't pick the exact same 3 accounts. So obviously one of the accounts I followed has followed me back, and 2 of the other accounts we followed hasn't followed us back yet. And people who follow you, so I have 3 followers in total, and of those we don't follow back as 2. So them 2 people are the 2 other accounts I followed myself with. I wasn't paying attention to the exact names of the accounts. Anyway, okay, it's not as easy to explain this now in the very small followers, but we follow 3 people. We've an option to prune or purge. Prune we can't do on this account, so I'll explain it on the paid when we go to the next video on the paid account. Purge we can do. What purge will do is it will allow us to unfollow people who haven't followed us based on certain rules. We have access to the rules up here, but I'll leave that until the next video and we go through the rules. But we can purge up to 30 people on the free account at one go. So I'll show you why we might need to do that. And then we can schedule it, which allows this program to run by itself, where we don't have to touch it again. So once we set this up correctly, this can keep running, consistently build followers. Okay, now, why are we following people? The principle behind what we're doing here is we are following people for 2 reasons. 1, to get their attention, to let them know we exist, and they might follow us back. And 2 is we might be following them so we can gather a network around us of people that are in our industry, whichever industry it may be, in this case internet marketing, and we want to be involved in this community because we're following them to engage with them as well. So on Twitter there's an unspoken law that if you follow someone or if they follow you, you should follow them back. So if you follow them, you would expect them to follow you back. In some cases they will, in some cases they won't, and in some cases they are famous people, and the only reason they expect people to be following them is because they're giving so much value out, but they don't want to follow everyone else because they've only the small few people that they'd be interested in. That's the reason we follow people. Okay, reasons they mightn't follow back. A couple of reasons. 1 is they mightn't use Twitter that often and they haven't come to see that you follow them in order to follow you back. 2 is they might have a program that can automatically follow people back, like this program here, where we can follow people back that we haven't followed yet and they haven't pressed the button yet. Or 3, they're not interested. So you'd be following them on the underlying principle that they have something of value that they're giving out there information wise, and you would like to be in way of receiving that on your timeline. They mightn't perceive you the same way, so they mightn't follow you back. So it's nothing to worry about. Here we're only like in anything in internet marketing, we're just talking about numbers at the moment. The bigger the number, the bigger the results. So that's the basics of following people. We are going to purge the people because a couple of things. 1 is your Twitter account is considered a healthy, in inverted commas, Twitter account if you have more followers than you are following. So the buffer between you follow 1,000 people and you have 2,000 people following you, the 1,000 people buffer gives an indication of the quality of your account and the quality of the content you're giving, because these people are following you because you obviously are giving something of value, because you're not following them back, or you hadn't followed them in the first place. In this case, if we were to keep following more people, we could have, we could be following 30 people, and we could have, 28 people not following us back, and then that'll keep going over the days and weeks, and we find we'll come up to our 2,000 follow limit, which Twitter put in place to separate the men from the boys, as I say. When you get to your 2,000 follow limit, That's the benchmark that Twitter set out, and there's different sets of rules that they apply. They don't tell you what they are, but they apply different sets of rules to people who have less than 2,000 followers and people who have more than 2,000 followers. The first rule is the fact that you cannot follow any more than 2,000 people if you do not have more than 2,000 people following you. So as a infant account, for want of a better word, if you do not have more than 2,000 people following you, you will not be able to go any further. And that's only fair. So up until that point, you should be able to establish a decent network of followers and have enough content spreading throughout Twitter that you will have that buffer of 10, 20, 30, maybe a couple of hundred of people following you who you aren't following, who are following you solely because you are giving them value, and they probably even have you on their watch list, on their list on Twitter. So you'd know that by this item here. You'll see that there'll be numbers in this. So if we're up to 1,800 here and we're on 15 or 20 lists, then it gives you an indication. And of course our followers are more than we're following. It'll give you an indication that we're all safe to go up over the 2,000 mark, and we are giving value, and we're doing this the correct way. Now I use that term loosely because Twitter is made of its members, and they're far and wide and very diverse. So no one person has the right way of doing Twitter, although some people feel that their way is the right way. I'm just going to show you the way that works for the industry that we're in, and that's that. Okay, so people who follow you on Twitter. We've 3 people who follow us on Twitter. This is the figure that's very, very important to us. We want to get that figure as high as possible. The more people that follow us, the more people that have an opportunity to see any content that we post on Twitter. Of those who you don't follow, this is where what I like to call the buffer. So at the moment the figures look pretty even keel, and it'll change slightly now when I go down to the next section, but we'll come back up here and I'll explain this a bit more to you. At the moment the ratio of friends to followers is 100%. Most of my accounts are probably operating around 90 or 90+%, which means I have 10% or less of a buffer. So one of my accounts is, I don't know, 40 odd thousand followers, and I have a 10% buffer there or close to it, so I have 4,400 people following me that I'm not following. So that's what the buffer would be. So it's usually fairly relative. So when I say the ratio mine is 92, or 93 or 90, I can't remember, it's been like that for for nearly forever. It's and it's increased, and the ratios really remain the same. They don't change too dramatically. Okay, so keyword following. So you see the word keyword here again. So we picked Easy Money Online as our keyword in our industry. We can set up a lot of different accounts based on keywords, and we can go through another video, keyword research. But Money Online, obviously it was a quick one. We can do the research behind it and get really niche about our keywords, but the main thing is the keywords are relative to the industry. Okay, so keyword following, add keywords. This is where we will be able to add the keywords that we're interested in for gathering our followers. So let's say Money Online and enter, and internet marketing. Okay, we'll just throw in 2 keywords now for the moment. Press add keyword. Okay, this tells you it's quite handy actually to see your activity log, especially when you're using multiple accounts. Like this program can run up to 50 or 100 different Twitter accounts. So at the moment there's only one on it, but the log is very handy because the log, anything running automatically will appear in the log as well. Okay, so here we are. This is what happens. Money Online keyword. Friends you've added. We've added 0 so far. Reciprocity. This is quite handy actually, but I'll explain it in the next video when we have the paid account, because you can't see it at the moment. Okay, so we press follow now. Now when we press follow now, we'll follow at the moment on the free account up to 30 people by default. So we press follow. This is going through Twitter, trawling through Twitter, and it's looking for tweets recently that had the word money online, or the term money online in the tweet. And I don't think it'll have any problem finding 30 tweets. It found 0. Oh, okay. We're going to make one change in order for us to make use of this. I don't want to go into the rules too much, but as I said, this program is very safe. So the standard settings is to keep you from getting in any sort of trouble with Twitter. Now, our brand new account, and we need to get it started off the bat. It could take us quite a while to get followers, even when we go into the next section on tweeting content. As I mentioned before, any tweet you throw out on Twitter is probably one among 5,000 or 6,000 tweets any given second. And if you don't have followers, it's going to be very hard for it to appear in front of a relevant person or a relevant API, the case may be, because I feel on Twitter people tend to be following either trends, which would be the hashtags that I explained to you earlier on, which is current events going on, or follow tweets from the people they're following. But they very seldom are sitting in front of the full timeline looking for something of interest straight away and hoping to catch it. So in this case, getting back to it, we'll just need to make one amendment to the filter here, the show and edit filters. When we press purge now, follow now, or any of these things, they go through a set of rules that this program is based on to make sure that you don't go outside any boundaries that Twitter would give out to you about. And it goes into major detail here. We're only concerned with the first button for the moment. And we'll scroll down, and the second option here, stop all following if my friend follow ratio is more than 107.5%. Friend follow ratio. If our friend follow ratio is 100%, that means this program will stop when it is following as many people as are following you. So at the moment we're following 3 people and 3 people are following us, so it's not going to go any higher. But we can change this to a maximum of 900%. 900% lets us follow 9 times the amount of people following us. So in our case, 9 times 3 is 27. So we can follow a maximum 27 people at the moment. Okay. Save. As you can see, it goes into quite a lot of detail here. Okay, so let's try it again once more. Money online. This is going off. This is hosted on a server, so it's not using any resources on your computer, which is quite handy. So if your website crashed, your computer crashed, this operation's still going on. It does take a few seconds, and it's usually depending on, as noted here, how slow Twitter is at the time. Okay, now here we go. It followed 23 people who tweeted money online, and it stopped because our friend follower ratio exceeds 900%. So we are following 27 people now in total. It followed 23, and we already following 3 people, which was 24, 5 and 26, and then we followed TweetSpinner when we signed up, so that's 27. So this program, if it was on automatic or manually now, it would not follow any more people. But let's go down and look at our figures now to see. We're following 27 people. 26 of them are not following us back. There are 3 people following us, and 2 of them we are not following back. So basically there's only one common person between the 2 accounts, one common account, and we're up to 900%. So now, this is where you can use purge now. Now, normally it'll go through a set of rules to make sure that we follow these people for a period of 24 hours or 48 hours before they're qualified to be purged, because we want to give them obviously time to look at their account and go through the process to follow us back. For the moment we leave it anyway, and if we were to come back to this account tomorrow, we might see that we have a few more followers. So if we had 1 more follower, that will allow us to have follow 9 more people. If we have 2 more followers, we can follow 18 more people, and so on and so forth, because we're running the 900%. Okay, we can't do anything else. And let's say we come back to this in 48 hours. If we're on the paid account, we'd be able to see here now how many of these 23 people are following us back. We'll show you that in the next video. Mimic following. Mimic following we'll probably show in the next video as well when we have a few more followers in the account. This is an interesting one. This allows you to follow people or target your audience based on who they're following already. So this one's targeting them based on what they're tweeting. This one's going to target them based on who they're following. What they're tweeting could be anyone in the whole industry. Who they're following can niche it down to the type of topics that they might be interested in the particular industry. So if you know a great dog trainer and you're selling accessories for dog trainers, or I don't know, dog show accessories, and you find a dog trainer that's in a magazine who is doing all these shows, you can mimic follow the dog trainer's followers on Twitter, knowing that they'll obviously be on the lookout for accessories for the dog for the dog shows, and you're the one that provides accessories. The person they're following isn't the one that provides accessories, so you're giving them an added value, and as well as that, you could be guaranteed a lot higher return on following them. Whereas following money online, these people would have to have a few different reasons to be following you back. As I said, it's either look at the draw that they're using a program that will automatically follow you back, or they might do their homework and research and see if you're of any value to them. With the mimic following, you can be guaranteed that if it's a program, you're getting a follow back, and if they do a bit of research, you have something they'll be interested in to follow you back also. So you get a higher return rate on that. Location filtering. We've no access at the moment, but if your business is local business, which is not in our case, but for the tool, if your business is a local business, you can filter your location. Now, location isn't exact. As I said to you, we could put in online as our location on our Twitter account, or we could put in Baltimore or a smaller district. So the location filtering can get a bit messy, but let's say, for example, you're in, I don't know, New York, and you put the location filter as New York. You could also narrow it down to districts in New York and put location filtering as Manhattan, and you can have a whole list of location filtering, and any one of them on the list can be applicable. So you just try and get the broader spectrum there, because people tend to be quite end customers that are physical customers that walk into a shop, in this case, to buy something. They're going to be, they could even put it down to the street they're on as their location, so you have to watch that. I tend to not use location filtering, so it's grand the industry we're in, there's no need to. But if we're running an event for internet marketing, and it was obviously in a local area, and we're setting up a Twitter account for it, that's when we'd use the location filtering. Okay, so I think we're good to go for that. So if you want to stay for a while on the free account, how you do this now is, this would be it for tonight. You couldn't do anything else. We have the max we can do. So you come back then tomorrow and log in. When you log in tomorrow, you can see how your figures are here, and you can click on the second follow now for internet marketing and see how many people we get to follow. And depending on how many followers you have, you could press the button another time, and that'll chunk up your followers. You could have over 20-30 followers inside the 2 days, and then you'd start purging, and you click purge, and it'll clear out the people who haven't followed you back, which means then you have the capacity to follow more fresh accounts. In this level, it's fine, but if you are operating a large number of accounts, Twitter frown upon it, and it's known as follower churn, and it's not liked at all. You can read the rules of the road here based on the point of view from this service provider. One thing to note with Twitter, I'll be showing you some more advanced tools later on that will get you some serious followers. But the disadvantage of the advanced tools is twofold. One is they work offline, which means they won't work unless you're in front of them working. But two is they don't use the Twitter API. So in this case, this program uses the Twitter API. So the programmer that runs the service is in constant communication with Twitter and has an account with them and makes transactions with Twitter on a consistent basis. So he needs to make sure that you keep your account in tabs, otherwise Twitter will shut him down, never mind your account. And he's obviously in business to make money, so he doesn't want to get shut down. So this is quite safe to run with. There's very little chance of your account getting shut down once it's using this service. So I think we'll leave it at that then, and please feel free to ask me any questions or let me know how you're getting on. I'll see you at the next video.